Welcome back. Markets are holding on to a 100-point gain. The Nifty is well above 25,800. But talking about commodities, Manisha is now joining in and she's tracking copper this morning. Hi.
Well, thank you for that. Almost everything seems to have rebounded when it comes to commodities, whether it's gold, silver, crude, copper, Bitcoin. Everything is trading in the positive on Monday morning right now. Well, I'll talk about copper, and we did see a 6-week lows in the previous week. It was the worst weekly decline that we saw in the last 7 or 8 weeks therein, but it started Monday on a positive note right now. But let me remind you that we have seen an all-time high in case of copper as well in the month of January. And from those kind of levels, we are down by almost 13 to 15%. Copper did close 2025 as the best year since 2009 as well, and the overall fundamentals do look supportive. Let me take you through on what we've done in sense of prices. We started this year with $5.6 a pound in the London markets there, and then we've seen a record high at around 6.5. It is currently trading at around 5.9 in the markets therein today. There is an interesting report from International Energy Agency which says that the copper refined consumption numbers going forward are only going to be on the higher side there. For 2024, the number was 27 million tons. By 2035, it is expected to be at around 33 million tons, and by the time it's 2050, the expectation is that the refined copper consumption could jump in by 37 million tons, and the markets are slightly jittery on whether or not we will reach these numbers in sense of production. Interestingly, prices also have been in check because there is slow Chinese demand. Remember, that market is shut because of the Lunar New Year holidays. It also is about the rising inventories in global exchanges. So when you look at COMEX inventories, those are at record highs, while Shanghai inventories are trading at April 2025 highs. The premium that the markets were commanding earlier also seems to be going down, and that is what is keeping the prices in check. The support in copper, though, continues because of there are outages in major mining countries, and there are no new projects coming in as well. And there are disruptions in Chile, Indonesia and Peru, which are the major producing countries therein. There is optimism also around the infrastructure demand that has been supportive. And then there is demand growth expectation, on paper at least, from EV and grid upgrades and data centers, etc. The markets will continue to watch the Chinese demand and the economic data and whether or not there is a stimulus coming in for that one. It also is about the historically weak treatment and refining charges, which the street is keeping an eye on. But finally, take a look at what the markets anticipate copper prices to be from here on. Let me remind you that $14,500 a ton is an all-time high already, and most of the banks and brokerages are anticipating prices below that to average in this year. Bank of America talks about $15,000 a ton of a price going forward. That's exactly what Citi and Goldman Sachs have also said, that if 13,000 continues to hold as a support, you could be looking at prices much higher. JP Morgan expects average prices of copper at around $12,500 a ton therein. The decline in dollar index clearly has been supportive, and what the markets are now waiting for in this week is the US jobs data that comes in on Wednesday, and the US inflation numbers are coming in on Friday. Those two numbers would tell you on what the rest of the week now looks like.
Thank you very much for that.